Our first story, the National Statistics Office presented the latest report on Mongolia's foreign trade balance. Notably, the foreign trade balance exports increased by $1.8 billion.
I'll introduce Mongolia's foreign trade statistics. In the first quarter, Mongolians traded with 125 countries and $5.7 billion in goods were circulated. Export was $3.8 billion, import was $1.9 billion, and the foreign trade balance reached $1.8 billion. The foreign trade balance increased 7.9-fold by $1.6 billion compared to the same period last year. Considering the foreign trade balance, exports increased by $1.8 billion. This was mainly triggered by increasing exports of the main commodity products, such as $1.6 billion in coal, $56.9 million in zinc ore, $52 million in iron ore, and $51.5 million in reserves. Imports increased by $248.9 million compared to the same period last year. Imports of diesel fuel increased by $109.8 million, truck by $56.6 million, heavy mining equipment by $27.5 million, and public transportation vehicle import rose by $22.3 million. The balance of payments profits for the first 2 months of 2023 reached $66.2 million, and current accounts generated $191.6 million. According to preliminary data on the money supply at the end of March 2023, it reached 30.9 trillion MNT, an increase of 4.5 trillion MNT, or 16.8% from the same period in 2022. The increase was triggered by a 2.3 trillion MNT increase in current account foreign currency and a 1.7 trillion MNT increase for deposit accounts. The balance of outstanding loans reached 1.4 trillion MNT, an increase of 1.2 billion MNT from February, and a 414.3 billion MNT increase from the same period in 2022. The balance of outstanding loan debts accounts for 6% of the total outstanding loan debt. Non-performing loans in the banking system reached 2.2 trillion MNT at the end of March, which decreased by 21.6 billion MNT from the previous month and increased by 101.1 billion MNT from the same period in 2022. Non-performing loans account for 9.6% of the total loan balance. The average monthly exchange rate of the MNT against the USD announced by the Bank of Mongolia was 3,524.98 MNT, down 623.2 MNT from the same period last year and 16.9 MNT from the previous month. The monthly average exchange rate of MNT to ruble announced by the Bank of Mongolia is 46.26 MNT, up 18.4 MNT from the same period last year and 1.89 MNT from the previous month.